My name is Raisa, and I'm one of your MCs tonight, along with Aaron, Samantha, Guadalupe, Angelica, and Emmanuel. First, we're about to hear an opening poem by St. Houston High School student Abanus Altom, reciting a poem by a Sudanese-American poet named Ahmed al-Shakur, entitled I'm From a Place. It's part of a collection of his poems that reflect the Black Muslim experience in Africa as well as America.
I'm from what kids fathers sweet and Niles we, where the sun always shines and grandfather tell tales of golden times, and grandmother say prayers that always rhyme. I'm from a place where women are wrapped in tubes, hands into the gullet with henna for decor, and every bad saw an idea that would fix our sedans for sure. I'm from where people still sleep outside and the stars fill in the sky, and family ties still in notion deep and thrown. Meals never ate alone, kids she's card to welcome people both, and your cousin are always trying to keep your clothes and run your phone. Cause we're all family folk, with sun-coated skin, and 500 is where your family counts begin. I'm from where people dreams are worldwide and go way beyond where they reside. Because not only home is beautiful, but it's broken and survived. We're in context that fills the media with their own notion. You must leave by any token. Glad get away, can't stay, just praying. We'd like to extend a special congratulations to St. Houston High School student Paul Guajadro. He won third place in the Arlington ISD contest. Congratulations, Nicole. Now here to welcome you to the stage is St. Houston Principal, Mr. Villarreal.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Black History Month celebration. I'm the principal here at St. Houston High School, Mr. Villarreal. This month, we pay tribute to the resilience, creativity, and leadership of African Americans who have shaped our nation's history. Tonight, we are honored to be joined by distinguished guests, including members of the Arlington ISD School Board, President Melody Fowler, Vice President Justin Chapa, and St. Houston alumna, Secretary Sarah McMorrow, Trustees Dr. Aaron Reich, David Wilbanks, Brooklyn Richardson, and Leanne Hayes. We later on might meet our superintendent. He said he's going to come, so we'll introduce him later. So his name is Dr. Matt Smith. So let's give him a hand, please. I want to warmly welcome our executive board members of the St. Houston alumni. They do a tremendous job, and they help St. Houston High School tremendously, and it's an honor to introduce them. Darla Biznell, Joanna Cardosa, Fernando Benavides, Jamie Thomas, and Brenda Allen. We have other special guests tonight, and there are the Arlington City Council. Will you please stand? And we might have also had some Fort Worth City Council representatives. If you're here, will you please? And we also have our new superintendent, Dr. Matt Smith, right here with us tonight. Thank you. Last but not least, we are honored to have Dr. Opal Lee as our distinguished guest. Her tireless advocacy for Juneteenth has made a lasting impact on our community and beyond, so thank you. Before proceeding, I would like to thank the Black History Month Committee for their dedication and hard work in organizing this meaningful event. Your efforts have ensured that we come together tonight to honor and celebrate the rich heritage of African Americans. Let's give him a hand, please. As we embark into this evening's program, let us immerse ourselves in the remarkable stories and achievements that have shaped our history. Thank you all for celebrating with us in this fantastic event. And tonight, may we leave with a deeper appreciation for the legacy of African American excellence. Thank you. Now, please help me welcome the Black History Committee Chairman, Mr. Graylon Roberson.
Good evening, everybody. I am Mr. Graylon Roberson. I am the director and coordinator of tonight's program and the chairman of the Black History Month Committee here at Sam Houston High School. I want to, first of all, just thank my committee here at SAM. We have worked tirelessly to bring this program to you all this evening. We have our senior committee members such as Ms. Taylor, Mr. Billy Wilson, and our senior committee member, Ms. Larissa Johnson, and others that have helped to bring this program to you all. And we work on this starting from the end of the last year's program. We started planning for this event. So the students and staff have all come together to work very hard to bring this program to you all. We also have members of our community, members of other high schools, members of other colleges as well that are participating in the program here tonight. So we just want to really just take this time to thank you for coming out and supporting us and supporting the scholarship that we have here at SAM for the students that participate in our program. We offer scholarships to them in the spring for a college of their choosing, and your entry fee that you paid to come in goes towards their scholarship. So we really appreciate that support as well. I want to also just thank all the people that Mr. V mentioned as well that came to support us, members of the Arlington City Council and the Alumni Association. And I wanted to give a special shout out to the Alumni Association who have sponsored Dr. Opal Lee coming to be with us this evening. So I want to thank them for their support and the continued support of our programs here at Sam Houston High School. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn this program over to our students and staff and other people that have worked so hard to bring this to you all this evening. We're going to have a message from our senior committee chairperson, Mr. Billy Wilson, who will talk to us about the meaning of igniting the change, which is our theme this year. Last year and last couple of years, our theme was Good Trouble. We honored the legendary John Lewis and his campaign for civil rights for the last couple of years. But this time, we got some feedback from our students about what do we want to say this year. And they all said, we want to start something that ignites the change and say how it's bigger than us. It's more than just us. And so that was their feedback. And when we found out we would have Opal Lee coming, we thought igniting the change, just showing how someone can start something by just one small step can make a difference. We wanted to really hone in on that this year. So that's our theme for this year, igniting the change is bigger than us. And we're going to have Mr. Billy Wilson come give us a word on that here shortly with the video, followed by a special message from Congressman Mark Veazey and also from Congressman Colin Allred. Thank you very much for coming. Hope you enjoy the show.
Igniting the change, what does that mean? When I first heard it, I was a bit taken aback because I really didn't quite understand what it was the students wanted to say. But as I got to ponder it a little bit more, I really see it as a call to action. Each of us in our everyday lives, we've been taught by the Sphinx, we have decisions about what we want to do. Yes, we have the bodies of animals and we can do all kind of crazy stuff, but we also have a mind that lets us know that we make a choice between doing right or wrong. And so each of us, as we go through the day, we see things that are going on that we need to say something about. We see something, we need to say something. Whether it's talking about immigration, whether it's talking about jail deaths, whether it's talking about the homeless, there are lots of things that are going on that each of us could say something about. And we each bring our brick and do our part, then we can build a better society. Ms. Opal likes to say that we should be a committee of one and change. That if people can be taught to hate, they can be taught to love. And so as my church, I grew up, my church said, let your little light shine. Let's do what we can to try to make this a better place, not a worse place, because it's going to take all of us. Thank you.
Hey, Sam Houston, Texans. I want you to know that I think it's great that you are kicking off Black History Month the right way. It's important that we recognize diverse voices in our country, in our state, and in our community. And that's why I think it's great what y'all are doing in Arlington at Sam Houston. And I can think of no better person to focus on and highlight and spotlight than Miss Opal Lee, the grandmother of Juneteenth, who is a fellow Black American and Texan that we honor and celebrate this month. Her sacrifices, her hard work, her walking, everything that she did to make sure that Juneteenth stayed on the forefront and on several administrations' minds finally led to the passage of Juneteenth becoming a national holiday. I was there when President Biden signed the resolution and the bill making it a law. So I want to thank you for focusing on Ms. Lee and spotlighting her accomplishments. And go Sam Houston, y'all are great.
Hey everybody, Congressman Colin Allred here. Thank you for the wonderful invitation to join you to celebrate and honor Black History Month. Black History Month is a time of reflection and celebration where we appreciate the contributions and impacts of Black Americans throughout our history, often in the face of incredible adversity. I wouldn't be in Congress today if it weren't for trailblazing leaders like Congressman John Lewis, Congresswoman Barbara Jordan, and Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson. As a proud member of the Congressional Black Caucus, I know that I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. And I commend Sam Houston High School's faculty and students for striving to bridge the gap and educating our young people on Black history and culture. You have to take up the torch as a new generation who will change our nation and continue to perfect our union. I urge students to continue to learn about the work of the ones who came before us, including great Texans like Miss Opal Lee, the grandmother of Juneteenth, someone who I've had the honor to meet multiple times, including at the White House, when President Biden signed the bill that made Juneteenth a national holiday into law. She's a hero to all of us, and her critical work to establish Juneteenth as a national holiday and her mission of advocacy has made our nation a more inclusive place. As you continue to celebrate this month, please not only reflect on the progress that's been made, but also remember the work for equality always goes on. In Congress, I'll always fight for a fairer, more tolerant, and more just Texas. That includes fighting to protect our freedoms, like the right to vote and the right to live free from discrimination. Because no matter who you are or where you live, everyone should be able to chase their version of the American dream. So thank you for representing the very best of our nation and our state. I hope you have a great, great event.
We also want to thank our very own Mr. Billy Wilson for his continued support and service to ignite the change within our community. Often referred to as the Black National Anthem, this was an original poem written by an NAACP leader, James Weldon Johnson, and his brother, and proclaimed as the Negro National Anthem by 1919. Many Americans saw a resurgence in this song recently and were surprised there was a Black National Anthem. Some even criticized it as dividing the nation. What they did not understand is this song has rebirthed itself every generation, from the early 1900s struggle of Jim Crow, to the 1960s civil rights movement, to the 2020 summer of the killing of George Floyd. This is a song that is revived every time the nation faces its centuries-old reckoning of race and oppression, and offers hope, resilience, and unity. If you could all stand and join the Sam Houston Orchestra as they lead us in song to lift every voice and sing.
Thank you, Sam Houston Orchestra. Dance is a way of expressing the Black experience, both painful and proud. As it flows out of the Black community, dance and influence can be seen across the world, but nowhere can you witness its roots better than to turn to Africa, where its movements were birthed. Now, let's give it up for our very own students, known as African Sensations, performing a traditional Yoruba African dance.
Let's give it up for African Sensations one more time. This next performance is by our very own Sam Houston Varsity Choir, directed by Mr. Wittenberg, who will be performing a song from the Lion King musical titled Shadowland.
Shadowland. so good. You see, that is how I wish I sounded like, but I don't. So, thank you, Sam Houston Choir. Next up, we bring you an unbelievably talented 5th grade student from Dallas ISD's Thomas Tolbert Elementary School, who won 2nd place in the Martin Luther King Jr. Oratory Competition. Please welcome to the stage, Jzairus Hopkins Swanson.
Hello, my name is Jzairus Hopkins Swanson. I'm a 5th grade tag scholar at the Thomas Tolbert Elementary School. My name, Jzairus, means God in lines. As I represent the meaning of my name, I will enlighten you in the next few minutes on what I believe Dr. King's reflection of the past 60 years in American history will be. We've all heard the speech, "I have a dream," and taken meaning from Dr. King's message. But the question I pose today is, what would Dr. King's reflection be of the foundation and blueprint he left behind? Well, I think that he would be proud in some of the world's changes since the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He would see the impact from his work and sacrifice, but he would say, we are still not there. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was intended to end discrimination based on color, race, religion, or national origin in the United States. The Civil Rights Movement brought about dramatic changes in the law, improved educational opportunities, and even granted legal protections of rights and freedoms for African Americans. It prevented housing discrimination based on race, sex, national origin, and religion. I believe he will ponder, are we there yet? The Civil Rights Act is empowering, yet we still witness issues and division all around us. Even with the Civil Rights Act in place in 2024, the law does not always stop nor punish those who choose to discriminate against men and women unfairly. I believe Dr. King would still say the Bank of Justice is bankrupt and encourage us to continue to stand up and demand equality. I think Dr. King might say we must do better. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery. The 14th Amendment gave citizenship to all people born in the U.S., and the 15th Amendment gave black men the right to vote. However, today, in 2024, several states are trying to pass bills to limit the power of the minority vote. For example, many states are enforcing strict voter ID laws and cuts to early voting. Dr. King's view on this issue, definitely not good. Dr. King spoke in his I Have a Dream speech of people not being judged by the color of their skin. He would be pleased knowing a black man became president of these United States, and presently a black female is serving as vice president. Dr. King's speech became a blueprint of hope instead of a cry of despair. His core value was to end discrimination. He wanted peace and for people to not judge each other based on skin color, their hair, their names, or even the neighborhood they lived in. Most recently, the Crown Act was passed. The acronym means to create a respectful and open world for natural hair. The passage of this act is another example of light that keeps Dr. King's dream a trending topic. I feel Dr. King's reflection of the past 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech would be for us to keep wearing our crowns as kings and queens and continue to keep the dream alive. In closing, Dr. King simply wanted equality for all people. Today, if Dr. King was reflecting on racial equality, poverty, and low wages, I believe he will repeat this quote: "What good is having the right to sit at a lunch counter if you can't afford to buy a hamburger?" What do I feel Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s reflection on the past 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech would be? I envision him saying, "We have unfinished business." Thank you for the personal privilege of speaking to you today. I'm Jzairus Hopkins Swanson, a 5th grade tag scholar at the Thomas Tolbert Elementary School.
Ooh, give it another applause for Jzairus. Next up is our own and very Sam Houston Color Guard, directed by no other than Mr. Jackson himself, performing Ouchies by Doja Cat.
Let me get it started. Round 1, fight. Round 2, ice. Round 3, bite. Let me get it started. Yeah. Round 1, fight. Round 2, ice. Round 3, bite. Okay, I don't mean to instigate. Y'all really phoned it in with the music lately. I don't need another hit cause it's useless really. I ain't looking good, you hallucinate. And every time I hear them talk, I assume they crazy. You can open up for me, who are you, first lady? Shut it down mid-show, tell them you pay me, that's a new Mercedes. I am graduating, let me get it started. Round 1, fight. Round 2, ice. Round 3, bite. Let me get it started. Yeah. Round 1, fight. Round 2, ice. Yeah, bite. Yeah, and there's so much ice. She wanna hit me, I said no, Mike Tyson. In 2050, they will know you oldest. 100 billies, I'm the goat, no eyelash. You full of baby, now your face look tired. Used to be the baby mom, you Martin now. You won't need another doc, can't talk me down. You better pick her up, cause brawling now, so come let me get it started. Round 1, fight. Round 2, ice. Round 3, bite. Let me get it started. Yeah. Round 1, fight. Round 2, ice. Round 3, bite.
What an awesome performance by Color Guard. Give it up one more time for Color Guard. This next performance is by our very own Sam Houston Texan Jazz Ensemble, directed by Mr. Niblo, performing the songs Killer Joe by Benny Golson and A Night in Tunisia by Dizzy Gillespie.
give it up one more time for our Sam Houston Jazz and Band Ensemble. Next up, we are so excited that they are back. This next performance is from Tarrant County College, Northeast Campus Student Pre-Professional Dance Company, under the direction of Dr. Choi, performing a hip-hop dance. Please, welcome to the stage, Movers Unlimited.
This is the Seattle exclusive. Yeah. Walk up in the thing, I be on my thing. If it's competition, I put them to shame. Different kind of chick, we are not the same. I raised all these babies, call me Captain Jackson. Please don't steal my style, I might push you out. What you doing now? I did for a while. Missy, go ahead, let it snap. I'ma snatch they wig till I see that scab. Booty claps, flying across the map. Now up on the block, looking like a snap. I show you how I do it, show you how it's done. Don't look for another pussy, cause there be no another one. Watch me, watch me, watch me, to the wall I throw, so I drop it low, 808 kick no, like it's the most this beat he composed while I kill the track with your ears decompose. Say rappers this year your lives will be exposed like this is the shot. Hits make rappers lose sleep, make labels unable, drop the artists or leak. I keep them knee deep, need me, be me, heartbeat, and basically the way since don't miss the meaning, talking like the bitches. This shit all lose sleep. Break 'em off some. This shit we hear real MC. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Y'all can't stop me now, listen to me now. I'm lasting 20 rounds, and if you want me, then come and get me now. Since you with me now, then biggie bounce. I saw you dig the way I switch my style. Holla, people sing around, the people gather round, the people jump around. Get your freak on, 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 get your freak on. Hush your mouth. Everybody here get it out of control. As Mr. Miller says. Everybody snap, sticks up, everybody cap, sticks up, everybody snap, sticks up, everybody snap.
Move tonight. Let's give them another round of applause. Our next group consists of our very own Sam Houston students, collectively known as the Young People of Color. They will be doing an oratory performance. And now, let's welcome to the stage Young People of Color.
August 28th. 1963, a young charismatic preacher steps up to the microphone in front of the Lincoln Memorial and says,
5 score years ago, a great American, in whose symbolic shadow we stand today, signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who have been seared in the flames of withering injustice.
But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. But the architects of our republic wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. They were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir.
This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed unalienable rights.
It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. America has given the Negro people a bad check, which has come back marked insufficient funds. Igniting the change. It's bigger than us. Hi, I'm Haven.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Hi, I'm Janaya.
Hi, I'm Olamide.
And we are Young People of Color.
Our theme, Igniting the Change, encompasses a plethora of things, highlighting how one small sport can ignite a major movement or revolution.
Be it the resistance on slave ships, or refusing to give up your seat on a bus, or simply walking to bring attention to the day when all Americans were emancipated.
In this oral interpretation performance, we will see how change can be united through expression and literature, with songs from the Civil Rights Movement, and
Caged Bird by Maya Angelou.
What Do We Tell Our Children by Margaret Burroughs.
And the I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King.
We will artistically express how we can all be a part of
Igniting the Change. It's bigger than us. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky.
But a bird that stalks out his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing.
Lift every voice and sing.
Till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty.
What shall we tell our children who are black?
What shall we tell our children who are white?
What shall we tell our children of every race and hue?
What shall we tell them who go to bed hungry while grocery shelves are heavy?
Who yearn for a good education but languish in program illiteracy? What shall we tell them?
It is our bounden duty to tell them the truth.
It may be painful.
We must tell them the truth.
We may be criticized.
We must tell them the truth.
We may be castigated.
We must tell them the truth. And the truth, it shall be, until freedom and equality is granted to every man, woman, and child.
The caged bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill. For you see, the caged bird sings of freedom.
But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children.
So the caged bird stands on the bridge of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me We shall arm them with the knowledge of how to survive in an atmosphere fraught with danger and hostility.
We shall urge them to heed the wisdom bequeathed us by the elder and to have faith in people, themselves, and their fellow human beings.
And to have respect and love for all humankind, and to keep the belief that the purpose of life is to continue to create and grow and contribute to a better life. We shall imbue them with the vision of the new tomorrow.
We shall tell them that they hold the power in their own hands to make this new way a reality in our own lifetime.
The cage bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill, for the cage bird sings
of freedom! For this will be the day where all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. Right.
So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire.
Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York.
Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia.
Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we let freedom ring from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children,
black men and white men,
Jews and Gentiles,
Protestants and Catholics,
will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual.
Free at last.
Free at last.
Thank God Almighty,
we are free! At last!
Or sorority. Rather, it is the brotherhood, sisterhood, community service, and scholarship of our brightest college-educated men and women. Its influence has infiltrated American culture all the way to the youngest talented steppers. We are very honored to have here on stage Arlington ISD's very own Nichols Junior High students. This award-winning junior high step team is directed by Ashley Cleveland and was recently awarded almost $8,000 from the AISD Education Foundation to continue giving these young steppers new opportunities. Performing to On My Mama by Victoria Monet, please give it up for iconic steppers.
Well, I'm back at Iconic Boot Camp. I'm gonna be honest, I'm scared to see these new recruits, but I guess I'm gonna bring them out. Left, 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 right, left. Your friend was exactly left. You're right. Your teacher was very left. You're right. Every was very left. You're right. Your team was very left. You're right. Your friend, the teacher, the A to the G were all exactly left. You're right. After we get left. You're right. I left back left. I left back left. To be iconic. To be iconic. The day I left. The day I left. My bestie cried. My bestie
the founder of the Martin High School Black Monologue Competition, as well as the Martin High School Black Student Union. Tonight, you will hear a monologue by Davina Obinyan, the second place winner of the Martin competition, performing The Danger of a Single Story.
Hello, I am Davina Obinyan, and today I'll be narrating Chiamanda Ngozi Adichie's The Danger of a Single Story. I grew up on a university campus in eastern Nigeria. According to my mother, I started reading at the age of 2, although for truth. And what I read were British and American children's books. And so when I began to write at about the age of 7, stories written in pencil, scribbled with crayon illustrations, that my poor mother was obligated to read, I wrote exactly the kinds of stories I was reading. All my characters were white and blue-eyed. They played in the snow, they ate apples, and they talked an awful lot about how lovely the weather was. In Nigeria, we didn't have snow, we ate mangoes, and we never talked about the weather because it was always lovely. We lived quite well when I was young. We were upper middle class, so it was only proper for us to have a domestic help. His name was Fide. The only thing my mother told us about him was that he was very poor. My mother sent yams and rice and our old clothes to Fide's family. And when I didn't finish my food, my mother would tell me, "Don't you know people like Fide's family have nothing?" Until I felt very bad for Fide's family. On a visit to Fide's village, his mother showed us a beautifully adorned basket made with dried raffia that his brother had made. I was startled. It had not occurred to me that someone in his family, or anyone in his family, could make something. I had heard only that they were poor. So it had become impossible for me to see them as anything else but poor. Their poverty had become a single story to me. When I was 19, I moved to America. My roommate was shocked by me. She asked, "Where did you learn to speak English so well?" And she was consequently, instantly confused when I said Nigeria happened to have English as its official language. She asked again, "Can I listen to your tribal music?" And she was instantly confused when I produced my cassette of Mariah Carey. She didn't know me, but she assumed everything about me before she even met me. Her default position towards me as an African was a kind of patronizing, well-meaning pity. My roommate had a single story of Africa, a single story of catastrophe. After many years living in the United States, I began to understand why my roommate felt the way she did. If I had not grown up in Nigeria, all I ever knew about Africa were from popular images, I too would think that Africa was a place of beautiful landscapes, beautiful animals, incomprehensible people fighting senseless wars, dying of poverty and AIDS, unable to speak for themselves and waiting to be saved by a kind white foreigner. I would see Africans in the same way that I, as a child, had seen Fide's family. But I, too, am just as guilty of a single story. A few years ago, I visited Mexico. There were endless stories of Mexicans crossing the border for a better life, that sort of thing. I remember walking around on my first day in Guadalajara, watching the people going to work, rolling up tortillas in the marketplace, smoking and laughing. I remember first feeling slight surprise, and then I was overwhelmed with deep shame. I had been so immersed in media that the only thing that was apparent in my mind was that Mexicans had become the abject immigrants. Though I myself had a relatively good childhood, many did not have the liberty to do so. I had grandfathers who died in refugee camps. My cousin Pole died because he did not get adequate health care. One of my closest friends, Okoloma, died because the fire trucks did not have enough water. In fact, they didn't have water at all. I grew up under a repressive military government that devalued education so that sometimes my parents were not paid their salaries. So little by little, staples on the breakfast table disappeared. First it was jam, then it was bread, then it was milk, and most of all, a kind of normalized political fear invaded our lives. All of these stories make me who I am, but to insist on only my negative stories is to flatten my experience and to overlook the many other stories that have formed me. A single story creates stereotypes, and the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story. So what if, before my trip to Mexico, I had listened to both sides, the Mexican and the American? What if my mother had told me that Fide's family was not only poor, but that they were hardworking? What if people around the world could have the pleasure to listen to the diverse African stories in Africa and in the diaspora? What the Nigerian writer Chinua Achebe calls the balance of stories. Stories matter. Stories have been used to dispossess and to malign, but stories can also be used to empower and humanize. Stories can be used to break the dignity of a people, but stories can also be used to repair that broken dignity. It was truly shocking that just because of writers like Chinua Achebe and Kamara Laye, I went through a mental shift in my perception of literature. I realized that people like me, girls with skin the color of chocolate whose kinky hair could not form ponytails, could also exist in literature. I started to write about things I recognized, the story of me, the story of us. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that touching story, and congratulations on your second place win. When you ask people, what are the top 3 exports of America? Most forget to say music. Visit any country and you'll be sure to find the richness of American music.
I can sing. Like, where's she at?
From the black slave communities in the deepest southern thickets, playing the banjo to the country tunes, to the free blacks who evolved their genius skills into jazz, blues, gospel, and all the way to sprawling cities that foster the genre of rock, soul, rap, and hip-hop, black music has become the foundation that unites the world. Coming up next, this band is comprised of our very own teachers and current and former Sam Houston students, and it even includes a collaboration by a Bowie High School student. Let them take you down a memory lane as we appreciate the impact of black music legend on American culture. Let's welcome to the stage Sam Houston High School Community Jazz Band.
And now we're going to pay tribute to those pioneering women of music who may have left us, but their legacy will live on forever.
Wow, they schooled us on the history of black music. The rhythm of black dance is the heartbeat and soul of the world. As it reinvents itself each decade, it is unmatched in its creativity, imitation, and global reach. Give it up for our very own student-led group with original choreography. Here they are again, African sensations doing a modern bank alert dance. Give it up!
Yeah. na badam, baby, take a look around. My baka, that's my baka, my shaking on the bounce. My mansion on na badam, baby, take a look around. It's up to you, but I'm the way you say I need. Don't tell them about it, say that me they come for you.
I've got to learn some of those moves. Give another round of applause for African Sensation. What do the Little Rock Nine, the Children's Crusade, the Freedom Riders, Martin Luther King, John Lewis, and living icons such as Dr. Opal all have in common? From the young and the very seasoned, they were never afraid to ignite the change. They dared to challenge America to be bigger than its broken past, its chaotic present, and its uncertain future, where being treated as second-class citizens was commonplace. Here, in the words of our very own Sam Houston students, are their own experiences with igniting the change and standing for the cause that's bigger than us.
What does igniting the change mean to you?
To me, it means like speaking out about things that is normally like purposely hidden. Like, so for example, we have an AP African American Studies class, and I learned a lot of things that are like people tell the stories in a way that like they want it to be told, and not the actual like meaning about it. And that's my interpretation of igniting the change.
To me, igniting the change means anybody can make a change. Like Mahatma Gandhi, he inspired Martin Luther King Jr., who then inspired Cesar Chavez. Because one of them started, he inspired others to follow through with the example of a non-violent way to protest. And in the same way, everybody can do like they did. We can all start something, and it can progressively get better and bigger, a bigger movement. So each one of us can make a change.
It means loving yourself and thereby showing others that by loving yourself, you're loving others, because people are very social in a way, and if you love yourself and you love everybody around you, people will want to emulate that.
To me, igniting the change means being an individual who stands up for what they believe in and wants to make a positive change in the world. Too much is going on in the world for us to just sit back and do nothing.
Igniting the change is enforcing the change you wish to see in your reality.
It's bigger than us. The world isn't just me and you. It's filled with other people with a universal connection, both positive and negative.
Igniting the change to me is more of a, you need to have that first spark. You have to start the movement before anything gets done. It's like a wildfire. You need a match to light it first.
Thanks to those brave students who share their experiences with us. Traditional gospel music has its roots in the Negro spiritual and has earned its right in the fabric of American culture. From the back-breaking labor of slaves that began in the United States in the 1600s to the first historical black churches established by the 1700s, this music reflected the deepest pits of souls that were in chains yet found freedom and salvation. Just as the magnolia tree in the deep south depended on the sun for its strength, the slave looked to the heavens for a prayer they expressed in song. These spirituals united a people and gave them resilience when their masters thought they had torn them apart. It is the predecessor of modern-day gospel and other forms of music today. Additionally, traditional gospel singing grades, such as Mahalia Jackson, were very influential during the golden era of the civil rights movement. So, let this music soothe your soul and give it up for our very own Sam Houston teachers and students of the Community Gospel Choir singing Ride On King Jesus and Mary Don't You Weep.
Mary, just tell Martha not to mourn. Pharaoh's army, you know we're drowning now. Singing Mary, just tell Martha not to mourn. Well, if I could, I surely would. I'll stand on the rocket, right where Moses stood. Pharaoh's army, you know we're drowning now. Singing Mary, just tell Martha not to mourn. Well, if I could, I surely would. I'll stand on the rocket, right where Moses stood. Pharaoh's army, you know we're drowning now. I'm singing Mary, Mary, I gotta call on Mary, I'm gonna call on Mary. Tell Martha not to mourn. Tell Martha not to
mourn. Okay, we have some church up in here tonight. Give it up one more time for our teachers and students of the Community Gospel Choir. Since I was just told that y'all are not only here to hear me speak, now, the moment I know you have all been waiting for, the trailblazing, amazing, never take no for an answer, who won't stop hoping, walking, marching, and igniting change, the woman who challenges all of us to be a community of one, our keynote speaker tonight, Dr. Opal Lee. We are so delighted to have her words of wisdom and personal experiences to inspire us. But first, we will view a video outlining her amazing accomplishments, as well as an introduction by her granddaughter, Ms. Dionne Sims.
From Houston, you guys know how to do a Black History program, I must say. There is so much talent in this school and such a diverse audience. And it goes to show what we believe in the fact that Juneteenth is a way for everybody to find themselves in the Juneteenth story. It has been such a wonderful experience to see all the diversity in the student body and how everybody can celebrate and enjoy the culture of African American, even if you're not historically an African American. So I think that you guys have done an awesome job. And so as the granddaughter of the grandmother of Juneteenth, I want to give you a chance to take a look at the video that highlight who she is, one, and then what keeps her going. So, roll camera.
This is the pen that President Biden used to sign Juneteenth into law. I'm Opal Lee, and I've had this marvelous day at the White House. The young people would say, it's off the chain. I knew I was coming because Juneteenth had been made a national holiday and the president was signing the bill into law, and I was invited to the signing of that bill.
Looking out across this room, I see the advocates, the activists, the leaders who have been calling for this day for so long, including the one and only Miss Opal Lee.
Over the course of decades, she's made it her mission to see that this day came. She's walked for miles and miles, literally and figuratively, to bring attention to Juneteenth, to make this day possible.
You cannot imagine how joyful, how humble, how magnificent the whole thing has been. There may be some of you who don't know what Juneteenth is. The enslaved in Texas weren't told they were free for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation freed them. They'd watch in their churches and they'd pray for freedom to come. And it finally did. When General Gordon Granger and 7,000 colored troops from New Jersey and New York made their way to Galveston, Texas. And he read General Order Number 3 that said all slaves are free. When those people came in from their labor and somebody read that to them, we started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since. Juneteenth is not a Texas thing. It's not a black thing. We're talking about freedom for everyone.
I present to you my grandmother, Dr. Opal Lee.
Young people, and you're all young people if you're not 97. I'm delighted to be here. I tell you, I've had so much fun and I've enjoyed this. And please give those performers another round of applause. I really think you could go home. I don't know what I'm going to say this. But maybe you want to know about Juneteenth. My parents would send me to Texarkana, Arkansas for the summers. And there was work to do on that farm. But on Juneteenth, everything. And here in Fort Worth, I met Lenora Rolla, tall, straight, in her 90s, didn't wear glasses. And she started the Tarrant County Black Historical and Genealogical Society. Now, I was one of its members. Juneteenth was one of its programs. And there was a Juneteenth in tiny little Sycamore Park. There were 30,000 people in that little park in a 3-day period. And when it was time to go home, somebody simply pulled a plug and we knew at 10 o'clock to go home. But this time, when they pulled the plug, I got on a flatbed truck and put it back in and we partied till dawn. I don't want you to think Juneteenth is all about partying, because it's not. There's a flag raising, there's a breakfast of prayer. I don't want you to think it's a prayer breakfast where you sit down and eat a lot of food. But it's a solemn occasion and it's beautiful. There's a pageant, it's Juneteenth pageant. There are booths, and there are people who sell their wares. There's health component. There's the part called Empowering You, where youngsters from all nationalities get together. And then They learn each other's culture, and in a week's time, they do a show. You might want to know how Juneteenth started. General Gordon Granger made his way to Galveston. He had several thousand colored troops with him. They went all over Galveston, telling people that the enslaved were free. And when those people came in from work, and they read that, somebody read it to them, and they learned they were free, they started celebrating, and have I said, we've been celebrating ever since. Yes, I'm going to tell you that I finished from Terrell High School. It was the only high school for black children in Tarrant County. And I finished at 16, and my mom was going to send me back to Marshall, Texas, where I came from. But I got married. She was so disappointed. She wouldn't even go to the wedding at Baker Chapel. And it took me 4 years and 4 babies to realize I was going to have to raise my husband myself. So I cut my losses and had nerve enough to go home to my mother and say, I'm ready to go to college now. And she says, I got no money to send you to nobody's college. But she says, I'll keep your children. And I don't know how many jobs I had. To raise the money to go to Wiley in the fall. I spent the money. I bought my children a television so my mom wouldn't have to run all over the community looking for them. And I went to Wiley without a dime. They put me to work in the college bookstore. And I didn't quit the job in Fort Worth because I didn't know what was going to happen. My mom kept it during the week. I'd come on weekends and work. She'd collect the check. The work got done. Nobody paid attention to it. And I got through in Wiley in 3.5 years. I couldn't stay 4. I came back to Fort Worth. I went back to Fort Worth and got a job teaching that paid $2,000 a year. I couldn't feed 4 children on $2,000. So I got another job. If I was at school from 8 to 3, there'd be a car waiting for me, and at 4 o'clock, I clocked in at Lockheed Martin, and I was off at 12. I guess I'd have still been working like that, but they laid people off. I taught 3rd grade so long, 8-year-olds, I was beginning to act like them. So they gave me another position. I was called the visiting teacher, and it was my responsibility to keep the kids in school and see that they had food and clothes and the lights were on and a place to stay. When I retired, that followed me. There were still people who needed food and clothes, and so us, along with others, we started a food bank, community food bank. And there was this building behind my house, huge facility up for sale for $1,500,000, and I had nerve enough to ask for it, and they leased that building to us for $4,000 a month, and I nearly had a hemorrhage. Where we gonna get it at $4,000? But we paid it for 11 months. And the month we didn't have the money, the people who owned it came to us and says, "You're doing a good job. You're servicing some 500 families a day, and we're gonna give it to you." I tell you, I could have done a holy dance, but the kids say when I'm I'm twerking, so I never do. Well, people standing in line, I polled them, and 66 of them said they were willing to farm. Here I go again. I asked the Trinity River Authority for the use of some land, and they gave me the use of 13 acres of land. We have a farm manager that gives produce to the food bank and the WIC program, and then he goes to market on Saturday. I'm a happy camper. I really am. I'm warning you young people, and there are some of you who don't know what Juneteenth is all about. And for fear I'm repeating myself, you need to know that a General Gordon Granger made his way to Galveston with several thousand troops from around New York and New Jersey. And they told people in Galveston, the enslaved, that they were free. And they started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since. I don't know that I can say it enough. But you need to know that in this day and time, we're not all free. There's so much joblessness and homelessness and health care that some of us can get and others can't. Climate change that we're responsible for, and if we don't do something about it, we're going to hell in a handbasket. I know I want to tell you some other things, but this I must say. I want you to make yourself a committee of one to change somebody's mind. You know people who aren't on the same page you are on. Change their minds. It's going to take more than a day. You're going to have to work at it. But if people can be taught to hate, they can be taught to love. And we've got so much we can do. And I want you to be the ones to do it. Have I said enough? I think about what we can do as a community, as a nation, because we are the richest nation in the world. And all we need to do is to forget the differences. And I don't know why, because I'm black, this has to do something with it. And I'm going to ask you to change your mind and help others to change theirs. That's enough.
Thank you, Ms. Opal Lee, for those inspiring words. Let's give her another round of applause, please, for coming out and being with us this evening. And so since you came all this way and you were the inspiration for our theme, we have a plaque for you that says Sam Houston High School Black History Month Program Award of Appreciation, presented to Opal Lee in recognition of tireless dedication to igniting the change. And at this moment, I would like for the members of the Alumni Association who have helped sponsor us bringing Ms. Opal Lee here today to come up on the stage, please. Thank you. You want to say something?
I tell you, I want to do a holy dance, but I'm not.
Good evening, Miss Opal Lee. You are so precious, and we, the Sam Houston High School Alumni Association, want to make you an honorary alumni. And so we wanted to present you with this warm little blankie, and it says to Miss Opal Lee, an honorary Sam Houston High School alumni. And I'm super excited to be here because my daughter Elizabeth works for the DRC in downtown Fort Worth, and she has her own nonprofit, Birdie's Helping Hands, to help those that are unsheltered. And so she is a huge fan of Miss Opal Lee, so she's a little bit jealous that she's not here tonight.
Okay, I could come back here and tell you some more things about the museum. We've got the National Juneteenth Museum that's going to be in Fort Worth. It's a $70 million project, and we've raised 33 in Fort Worth. And when I come to you with my cup, don't turn me down.
If you turn her down, I'll come after you.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Opal Lee, thank you so much for taking the time to inspire our Sam Houston students and our Arlington community. You are a living legacy, and your approach to igniting the change has not been one of just but words, but of wisdom and work. Throughout the years, the Sam Houston Black History Committee has been instrumental in fostering, mentoring, and developing a diverse group of high school students into the most accomplished adults today. But we will let them tell you in their own words as a testament about how being a part of the Sam Houston Black History Program, as well as its months-long events, info sessions, scholarship opportunities, field trips to famous speakers and writers, and its focus on character, work ethic, cultural awareness, and historical roots, leadership and activism ignited change within them, and planted a seed that is much bigger than any of us could have ever imagined. Here they are, in their own words, Sam Houston alumni, who gone on to graduate college and become a contributing part of American society and their own local communities.
Hi, my name is Kevin. I graduated from UT Arlington this last winter, and being a part of the Black History program was really an educational, informative experience for me. I'm Hispanic, Latino, so definitely it's not my culture, but being a part of the Black History program for several years, it was just, it was like a gateway to a whole different side of the world, a whole different way of celebrating, expressing joy, expressing emotions, expressing hardship, and also appreciation for what life has given you. And I thought it was an incredible experience. Everyone was so, warm and quick to embrace me, even though I'm from a different background. So I think it was something that really helped me, especially to develop more confidence, to develop my skills in music. So I think it was definitely something that I wouldn't trade for the world. I'm glad that I did it.
Being a part of Sam Houston's Black History Month program gave me the chance to experience and learn Black history through the arts and performance. It gave me the chance to foster meaningful relationships with my peers and my teachers. It inspired me to learn more about Black history and how that continues to affect life in America today. And just having the opportunity to be selected to perform in Young Men of Color served as the catalyst for my love as a performer in the arts.
My name is Thaddeus Uwalaki Kente Jr. I was one of the first participants in the Young Men of Color spoken word performance group who performed at what would be the first ever Black History Month program at Sam Houston. And it was a daunting task at first, having to all but memorize powerful lines of prose that I wasn't all that aware of prior to being introduced to them for the sake of the performance. Through that experience, and through experiencing everything that comprised the Black History program, it has left a lasting impact on who I am today. I was given the opportunity to fine-tune and use my voice in a way that I had not imagined possible prior. And to be quite honest, I was frightened at the thought of coming before an audience and performing. Since then, I've learned to do things afraid and to continue to walk in uncertainty, as uncomfortable as it may be, and as uncomfortable as it will always be. I've learned to appreciate how powerful one's speech may be, and for these things, I am forever indebted to all those who helped cultivate these ideologies for me, and for helping a former shy young man embrace the spotlight and speak when he sees fit. Thank you all so much, and hope to see you all at the 50th annual Black History program, and the 60th, and the 70th. I don't know if I'm making it to the 80th, but I'm glad you all are here. Take care, and see you soon.
Thank you. I'm going to take a point of privilege here. Mr. Roberson doesn't know that I'm doing this. But I would like to step in because those of you who don't know, Mr. Roberson this year won the Martin Luther King Educator of the Year Award. And I think we need to give him a little credit for that. Come here. He's my student. I had him in 9th grade. He was in my algebra class. So I get to tell him what to do. So congratulations. Congratulations. All right.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Whoa, day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory. Now the war is over, victory isn't won. We'll fight on to the finish, and when it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, oh, we'll cry glory. Ignite the change.
It's bigger than us!
All right, thank you guys for coming. That concludes our show.
Thank you.
Please join us in the cafe area. We have desserts, a dessert tasting. in the cafe, and also Miss Opal Lee will be there with some of her books, and you can speak with her and get a signed copy of her book. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate you. And good night. Thank you.